De'Aaron Fox dropped 29.
Who?
Shemezi Metu made a clutch three-pointer with 46.7 seconds remaining, and the Kings ended their longest losing streak of the season with a 125-116 win over the Los Angeles Lakers, who had title aspirations when this season began on Wednesday. LeBron James had 34, now has 410 points in his last 12 games, his most over a 12-game span since the 09-10 season. The Lakers have lost 2 straight after a 4-game win streak. Here is Carmelo Anthony earlier this week on the Lakers still trying to figure each other out.
Just from the standpoint of, starting off slow and having new guys on the team, new system, guys trying to figure it out, guys trying to figure out how to play with, LeBron and AD, and then now incorporating the Russ, and just everybody just, figuring out what their role is. What made it beautiful for the Bucks was that it was, once it came together, and you've seen what happened with that.
Well, we need to hurry up and figure it out, and it needs to hurry up and come together, because otherwise, it's all for nothing, man. We're gonna be a laughing stock of the league in a minute.
Yo, Russell Westbrook is 0-15 from the three-point line over his last 6 games, man. And
he knows it too.
I got a crazy stat for you. Defenders are averaging their space between him and defenders of 8.3 feet. So people are sitting in the lane while my man's on the three-point line saying, go ahead, shoot it. So what does that do? That clogs the lane for LeBron James. Look, they have some real issues they need to figure out around Russ. And I know you're always going to say, Max,
yes!
You're lying. Don't worry. Russ always figures it out.
I'm worried.
And I'm going to tell you, Max, I don't know, because Russ has never won a championship. So you tell me he's going to figure it out, but that's never him figuring it out has never led to him winning a championship.
Totally legit what you're saying. What I'm saying is this. When the playoff starts, a separate issue, we'll see. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 4 times, shame on me. This is the 4th straight year. Just go back to what you were thinking in the first half of 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. He was terrible. Russell Westbrook was a losing player in the first half. In the second half, always with new teammates, always with new team, he caught fire. Let him figure it out.
I know you're doubling down.
I am. I'm tripling down.
This is not Kansas City's defense. Like, you won that argument. I hear you, but this is something different. And do you think of the Lakers as tough or more soft?
They're not tough yet.
Okay.
They're not tough yet, but give them time.
Where's AD? How much time do we need?
Well, you know what that is.
Well, the question was that you got AD because LeBron's getting older, and he was going to be that. So, there's things that you're starting to say, hey, there's history here.
We got a lot of issues that we need to fix. Westbrook is one of them, and there's more issues other than Westbrook.
You think the Suns are a pretty good team?
Yeah, I think they're.
I will remind you that last year, coming off a finals where either LeBron or AD could have been finals MVP because they won the championship, the Lakers were clearly better than the Suns in the playoffs until injury took its toll and they weren't really the Lakers anymore. Yeah. Suns beat them. Otherwise, Lakers would have beaten them.
Where does this team rank defensively?
I get it, but
I know, I hear it, but you know why on that team? Because they had
Alex
Caruso.
That's real. That's real.
And KCP.
That's real.
You had 2 lockdown wing defenders. You don't really have that now.
You're right. I can't argue with that. I'm just saying.
And some would say they missing Jason Kidd, believe it or not.
You jumping ship, Key? Yes or no on the Lakers right now?
I'm never gonna jump ship.
No, but
I'm just mad. I don't mean
as a fan. I'm saying, are you giving up
No,
hope?
never.
Me neither.
Never. I ain't gonna never do that.
Can you imagine a separation of 8.3 feet?
Yeah, he's gonna make him pay for that. Westbrook's gonna make him pay for that.
Key. You're a professional.
You knock it down though. You give me that space, I'm gonna hit it on you.
All right. Ben Simmons' agent. Speaking of guys who people give 8.3 feet to.
Oh.
Ben Simmons' agent met with the 76ers.
What a transition.
But the sides are no closer to a resolution with the NBA trade deadline a month away. Ben Simmons' agent, Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, met with 76ers president of basketball operations Daryl Morey, general manager Elton Brand on Wednesday. Sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Here's Woj on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt.
Philadelphia continues to be content to wait. And, their philosophy all along has been, if we get a trade package back that doesn't make us a championship contender, doesn't get us back to that level that we felt we were with Ben Simmons, we're not doing it. And so I think even with a month left to the deadline, there's a real chance this goes on beyond the deadline.
Oh, it's going to go on beyond the deadline. Daryl Morey ain't budging here. And I don't know what team. I mean, people throw out there the Chicago Bulls, and I'm like, oh, I don't see the Bulls trying to give up Patrick Williams or Kobe White. And is that even enough? Like, you're not going to throw DeMar DeRozan in that package for Ben Simmons. Like, that's going backwards for the Bulls, not going forward. Like, are you looking at the team like the Spurs? They have young assets, but I don't know if Daryl Morey's going to see those assets as championship contending assets. It goes back to, you talk about what's happening with the Portland Trailblazers, but, then you got a lot of their team is hurt. So I think it's going to be a situation where they're going to be stuck.
Why would the Bulls entertain Ben Simmons?
Just people were throwing it out there.
Put him in the dunker spot.
They got Ball. He's there. So what do you need him for?
I could understand. Would be the logic. Patrick Williams is done for the year.
And if he's saying he needs championship caliber players back.
Right. That's the key. But if they could, because Patrick Williams is a guy who could potentially in his career be a real difference maker. It's very early in his career, still developing, now out for the year with an injury. So if you take him, if that's enough, and you could add Kobe White and get back Ben Simmons, very few players are ever going to be as good as Ben Simmons is right now for all his shooting problems. So now the Bulls have Simmons in the dunker spot because it's Lonzo's ball, right? Like, he is the point guard. And now Simmons gives you great defense, which you're going to need against Brooklyn and KD. You have got a guy to put on someone. He gives you incredible passing, right? And in the dunker spot, you don't have to worry about his lack of shooting as much. I get the logic. I understand the logic of it. Neither one of you do?
Not really. No. I mean, I don't.
Well, I tried my
best. I kind of like Austin Rivers said the other day. It's like Ben Simmons' career in Philadelphia is over. No. And I think one of the things you're happening, like, Cleveland was a team that people were talking about. Like, if you're JB Bickerstaff right now and you're Cleveland, you see what position they're in the East. Like, I'm not trying to change up the chemistry of that team for Ben Simmons.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.